Hi, I'm Carla Mechele, spotlighting Susie E. Tolbert. Born in 1880 in Florida, she grew up in Chicago, then returned south, making a home in Jacksonville. Living in a house near Edward Waters College, she also made a home for students, providing them free room and board. She taught music and applied social etiquette at the college, and lobbied for better facilities and equipment for Black children in Jacksonville. Her home is now preserved as part of EWU's campus in this elementary school.
All right, we've seen Carla on the show many times, and she's always out and about Jacksonville, out in these streets. But one of the main reasons I wanted to talk to you today is you have this blog that I follow, and you are very interested in showcasing all of the Black history here in Jacksonville. And not trying to date myself, but you kind of a young one with an old soul, so I'm gonna attribute that to you. But why are you so invested in showcasing Jacksonville like that?
Well, I take the compliment, but I am 36, so I'm kind of that older millennial.
Okay.
Well, actually mid-millennial,
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
But I'm so interested in Black history because I'm from Jacksonville, first of all. And then I have parents and grandparents who are also have been there. They've been here their whole lives, and they passed down that history orally to me. So I just kind of took that and ran with it. Some of the stories they've always told me, I just wanted to put it in visual form so that other people could experience that too.
Now, I was talking to Adonica over at the Ritz a while ago, and she mentioned that the best way for young people to really understand their culture and the history is to talk to their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. So I'm assuming that's kind of where you grew up.
Yes, actually, this house over here is my grandmother's house, both of my grandparents, but it was actually passed down from Joseph Blodgett to my grandmother. His daughter, he actually built this home for her. Her name was Sally, and my grandmother is her cousin. So my grandmother took care of her in her older age, about in her early 90s, and that's when we moved into this home. I say we, but we have a big family, and I was always over here. My grandma used to pick me up from school. So cousin Sally, in her older years, used to ask me to make phone calls for her when she couldn't see as well anymore. So I'm like 8 years old on that old rotary phone.
You young ones don't know about that.
Yeah. And I was fascinated just by the phone, and she would ask me to make calls for her. So I felt always very connected, especially to my elders. And I just think it's cool that that's the history of this house. And then I learned the history of this whole neighborhood too.
So we're actually going to be taking a tour of Durkeeville over the next couple of weeks and exploring. Actually, we're doing a really big come up on Douglas Anderson. I'm super excited.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff people are like, I had no idea. I definitely didn't. But people that have lived here had no idea about some of the stuff. What do you hope people take away from your segments when they see what you're talking about with the history here in Jacksonville?
Pride, especially for people who are from here. I think we hear a lot that there's nothing to do or the place doesn't have an identity, but that hasn't been my experience. And I think it has, the history has been segregated at times, and it's just important for us to not only learn through our hardships, but the things that we did that were victorious for us in spite of those hardships, especially during that time. It was very difficult. So I think those people who pushed through, and even the people who didn't, but the people who pushed through deserved the glory, not only back then, but it's a legacy.
Now, if people want to find your blog and see more history and what you got going on, where would they go?
Go to youtube.com/Carla Mechele Media. The spelling is Mechele. But you can also go to my website, carlamechele.com.
Bet. All right, so like I said, we're going to be taking a tour here. We're waiting on our ride. Should be here shortly, so super excited for that experience. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Leg up.